CES, or the Consumer Electronics Show 2025, is underway as we speak, and I've spent the past few days roaming the halls at the massive Las Vegas Convention Center trying to find some of the exciting wellness, fitness technology things to report back to you today. So in this video today, I just want to run through some of the highlights or the more exciting things that I found throughout my journey and just talk about it. So if you don't know what CES is, the Consumer Electronics Show is where a lot of the big brands go to show off their latest technology. You'll find things from Samsung and LG, and those booths are really incredible, especially LG this year. They had rotating see-through TVs showing like fireworks and smoke, and there was rain coming down. It was really crazy. And on top of that, you'll find really wacky things like EVs with drones coming out of the back of them and personal helicopters and all sorts of things. But that's not really what we're here to talk about today, because if you know my channel, I like to talk about running and fitness and wellness and sleep and all of those things. So that's sort of the niche we're gonna focus in on. To kick things off in this video, I wanna talk about Garmin. And this year was pretty rare because Garmin actually announced a new device at CES, which is something I don't think they've ever done before. The really cool thing about Garmin at CES is it's really one of the only places you can go to see just about every Garmin product that's made under the sun. Everything from a bike radar to a golf thing to a watch to an automotive or a boat thing, it's all there. And in particular, when it comes to Garmin smartwatches, they have every single Garmin smartwatch that is available currently. There's a huge booth, and to show it all off, and some of the really rare ones like the Garmin Mark Edition watches, which there's one that's made out of Damascus steel that retails for like $3,200. There's a carbon fiber one, and those ones were really cool. What was really exciting though is that the day before CES started, Garmin held a media event at a rock climbing gym right down the street from the Las Vegas Convention Center called the Refuge Climbing Gym, where they did announce the new Instinct 3. And on top of that, they also announced the new Instinct E, which is sort of a stripped down version, or sort of like one of the older models of the Instincts, but now rebranded as the E for Essential. I've got a whole video all about the new Garmin Instinct 3 and Instinct E, so I'll sort of summarize it here. What it is basically an outdoor rugged hiking watch that's been redesigned to include this year, for the first time in the Instinct series, an AMOLED display. But there is good news for those of you that really like that black and white display, because that still exists. Now there's two different options. You can go MIP or AMOLED, and on top of that, there's also two different sizes. And if you do decide to go for that MIP display, you also do get a solar panel on the front of the watch, and that solar panel is 5 times more effective at capturing sunlight and charging up the watch than previous generations. And what that means is that in the right conditions, you may never have to charge your Garmin Instinct 3. The Instinct 3 series does start at $399 for the cheapest option. That's going to be the solar model in the smaller size, and it goes all the way up to $499 for the AMOLED in the larger 50mm form factor. If you do want to learn more about the Instinct 3 and the Instinct E, go check out my other dedicated video where I talk about more of the specs and what it's all about. With Garmin out of the way, let's move on to Amazfit. Amazfit was present at CES this year, and just like Garmin, they did announce a new device at the event. The Active 2 is a super affordable watch, coming in at just $99 at the starting point and going up to $129. The premium model will give you an extra band in the box, so there's going to be a vegan leather band. It's sort of like a rubber version of leather, and a silicone rubber band in the box for more sport-like activities. And the really cool thing about the Active 2 Premium is that it actually comes with a sapphire display, which is sort of unheard of for that price point at $129 US. It really didn't compute, but that's what they did. The new Amazfit Active 2 also features a lot of the same features that you'd find on the more expensive Amazfit T-Rex 3, including mapping and navigation, wellness tools like step tracking, calories burned, that sort of thing. And it does have training tools like estimated VO2 max, training load, and all of that other stuff. I do have a full review video on this channel that's like 23 minutes long, so if you want to learn more about the Active 2, go check out that video as well. That isn't the end of the story for Amazfit though. They did have a couple of other things to show off, including a new color option for the T-Rex 3. They now have a light color option for the T-Rex 3 that's sort of a light gray and white, and I thought looked pretty cool. And on top of that, at CES, they did show off the new super affordable BIP 6 smartwatch, which sort of looks like an Apple Watch. It's got that square appearance. Now, this is going to be their budget entry-level option. It's going to be the most affordable option from them. But as you can see, it did have a really nice display. It looked pretty slick. I don't have a price point on it yet or any features or specs or anything like that. All they did was kind of show it off, give you a first look or preview at it, so this is what it looks like. The Amazfit BIP 6 will be coming out sometime in the spring of 2025, so we'll have to wait and see what it's all about. And finally, when it comes to Amazfit, probably one of the most interesting things I saw at CES was their new Vital device. Now, this one's kind of weird because I was shown this in a top secret room under heavy embargo. I wasn't allowed to talk about seeing it or what it did. However, there was sort of a marketing snafu on Amazfit sides, so everyone knows about it now. So what is the Amazfit Vital? Well, this one is kind of odd because it's actually a tiny little camera that you put on your dining room table that will record you eating. You might be wondering, why would you want to be recording yourself eating? The idea here is that you actually angle it in front of your dinner plate or whatever you're eating. It'll actually register what's on your plate, and then as you consume items off the plate, it'll actually recognize that as caloric intake. And not only caloric intake, it'll also give you your macros, your proteins, your carbs, all of that without you having to manually enter anything into your phone. And Amazfit actually did demo this for me in person. I got to hold one and play with one and see what it's all about. They dumped out a bag of potato chips on a plate. The camera recognized it, and as the chips were consumed, it actually told me how many calories were being consumed. It was really interesting. The weird thing about this device, though, is that it was super early prototype. This is like an alpha thing. It may or may not ever exist, and they were just sort of looking for feedback on what it did and what it could do in the future. The question is, how accurate is it? How much is it going to cost? How small can that technology get to carry it around? And could it potentially just become an app on your phone? The cool thing, though, is that part of this actually is an app already. You can go ahead and download the Amazfit Zep app on your phone right now for free, even if you don't own an Amazfit device, and use the food journal that's built into the app. Moving right along to smart rings at CES. I feel like there were a lot more companies presenting smart rings this year at CES, some announcing for the first time and others being sort of the standard that's been around for a while now. However, in that sea of smart rings at CES this year, there were a few that stood out in my opinion. The first one is the new Ultrahuman Rare Ring. Now, if you know me, I'm actually wearing an Ultrahuman Ring Air right now. I've been wearing this ring for like a year. It's something I actually like. I've got a couple of videos about it if you want to learn more on it. So what is the Ultrahuman Ring Rare? Essentially what they did is they took the Ultrahuman Ring Air and enclosed it in more premium materials. They're peddling this as the world's first luxury smart ring. So instead of the Ultrahuman Ring Air having a titanium shell, these new Rare products use either PT950 Platinum, I think that's what they called it, or 18 karat gold. Now the real con to this product is going to be the price, because as of launch, it's rumored to cost somewhere between $1,900 and $2,200 US. And to be honest, I don't know who's going to spend that kind of money on a smart ring, because as you know, smart ring technology keeps evolving. We get better battery life, we get more sensors, and I have to wonder, a couple of years down the road, if you bought a $2,000 smart ring, what do you do with the old one? Now, Ultrahuman did allude to some sort of upgrade process down the road. If you do buy an Ultrahuman Ring Rare, you may be able to swap out the electronics and keep the precious material, but I'm not entirely sure how that will all work. And at the time of filming this video, these precious metal rings will only be available in certain regions. But I guess if you're looking for that sort of premium smart ring, this is kind of the only one that exists. So there's that. The next smart ring I want to mention in this video is the Renpho Lynx smart ring. So this is a affordable smart ring coming in at around $199. There will be no subscription associated with this smart ring, and on top of that, it's from a pretty well-known brand. If you've gone on Amazon in the past couple of years and bought a body composition scale, you probably know this brand because Renpho has been around making scales for a very long time. The idea behind the ring is sort of to couple more biometrics into their ecosystem. So now you've got your body weight, your body composition from the scale, and in the same app, you'll also get things like your sleep tracking, your HRV, your activity throughout the day, all from the Ring, coupled with the body composition data from their scales, which is kind of interesting. And the Ring itself is pretty nice looking and affordable. And the final smart ring I want to mention in this video is the Noise LunaRing. I was pretty interested in this one. So the LunaRing will come in at around $299 here in the USA. I think that's going to be the price. There's a few different color options, but the most interesting part of the LunaRing is that it does come with a battery case. So the Ring itself does have like 4 to 5 days of battery life, I think, if I recall correctly. But if you do have the battery case, which does come with the Ring, you can get up to 30 days on a single charge, including the case. It's a lot like what the Samsung Galaxy Ring did, but now cross-platform compatible between Android and iPhone. Next up, let's move on to sleep products, because there are a few things this year that I found super interesting when it came to sleep and recovery. First up was actually a pair of sleep earbuds. These are earbuds specifically designed to help you fall asleep and actually get better sleep by wearing them. These earbuds are called the DB Beats 4Me earbuds. They actually do have a little optical heart rate sensor right on the tip of the earbud. So you pop them in, you lay down in bed, and what happens, it will start playing some soothing or calming music. And while it's doing that, it will actually pick up your heart rate signal and see if you're actually calming down or becoming more agitated or stressed. And depending on what's going on with your heart rate, it will adjust the frequency of the music to try to calm you down and lull you into a deeper sleep. The DB Beats 4Me earbuds are not currently available widely on the market right now. They are in that like Kickstarter Indiegogo phase, but they were super interesting. And right now, at the time of filming this video, they're actually pretty affordable. You can back them for about $139 US. And I should also mention that these earbuds can also be used for music and podcasting. It doesn't have to be their specific app, but that's sort of the magic behind the scenes with the app. Okay, next up in the sleep category is going to be the Pepperminto mattress topper. This was kind of fascinating. So if you've watched my channel for a while, you may have seen that in the past I've reviewed the 8 Sleep mattress cover. Now this is an active cooling and heating mattress cover with an app on your phone that can control the mattress cover. It records your metrics, health metrics, and there's a subscription. The mattress cover itself is actually pretty expensive, even though I like it quite a bit. Now this Pepperminto mattress cover that was at CES is sort of a different technology trying to achieve the same thing for considerably less money. The magic behind the scenes with this Pepperminto mattress cover is that it's a passive cooling solution. The mattress topper itself is made out of like a graphite or graphene material that can absorb the heat from your body without transferring it back into your body or absorbing it into the material, so the mattress will never feel hot. So I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. It's still very new to the market and whether or not it will be available here in the USA. Next up, I want to talk about Withings. So if you're unaware, Withings is a pretty big company that makes all sorts of devices. These are typical health and wellness tools for sleep and recovery. This year at CES, Withings did have something really cool called Omnia. This is just a concept, an idea, a prototype, and not something that's on the market just yet, but it could potentially down the road. Withings Omnia is sort of like a mirror that you mount to your wall that will display all of your health metrics in sort of all aspects of what you do, from your activity to your sleep to your weight and body composition, all in one place, so you can take a glance when you wake up in the morning. They had this on display. You could step up and try it out for yourself, and it did look really cool, but again, not a product yet, not something you can go and buy. It could come to the market eventually, and hopefully when it does, it is affordable. And the final thing I want to mention in this video is actually blood glucose monitors. So all of the big ones were at this event, including like Dexcom and Freestyle Libre from Abbott. However, there was a new company there called Elixir that I found to be super interesting. The idea behind Elixir is a new technology that uses an optical infrared sensor to pick up your blood glucose levels without penetrating your skin at all. This could be a total game changer for diabetics or for even people who want to just track their blood glucose levels to, adjust their diet accordingly or find foods that are sensitive to them. The way this device worked is basically you would put it in the palm of your hand, push a button, a light would turn on, and through optics and through infrared light, it would pick up your blood glucose levels right through your skin. The rep I was speaking to told me that this device is about 80% accurate at the time of their development, but they do intend to get it all the way up into that 90 percentile range, and that would get the accuracy comparable to those other CGMs that you can already buy on the market today. For me personally, I wasn't actually all that interested in the Elixir device itself, because first of all, it was very expensive. It was about $2,000 for the unit, and that is a pretty high price point just to avoid a little needle poke here and there. What excited me about this device was actually the technology and where it could potentially go. I could imagine a world where you could put this on the back of a watch or even a watch band or something like that and collect all of your data in one place, like a standard optical heart rate sensor and a pulse oximeter, and then you'd also get blood glucose levels on top of that. That would be pretty crazy. We're not there yet, obviously, but the existence of this technology gets me pretty excited. Hopefully it does for you too. And that's really it for this video. There were a lot of other things at CES 2025 in the health and wellness space, like exoskeletons for people who have a hard time walking to help them go hiking, and lifting devices and e-bikes and treadmills. But really for me, these are the things that stood out as more exciting technology. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully they stood out for you as well. Now I want to hear from you in the comments down below. Were you hoping there would be more exciting things in the health and wellness space? What things out of this list did you find most exciting? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. And after you comment down there, also make sure to hit that thumbs up and like button down below. That really helps me out because only like 10% of you are actually subscribed. Subscribe. That makes me feel better about my life. And then after you subscribe, also make sure to drop into the description down below where you will find links over to my other social media accounts, like my threads, my podcast, my Instagram, my Strava, and of course my website where you can buy some sweet Chase the Summit merch. Check it out. All right, friends, I gotta go now. I am very tired. I'm very jet lagged. I need to take a nap and just get out of Vegas mode. It's crazy over there. And no, I did not spend a single dollar gambling. Are you proud of me? I hope you are. Okay, I gotta go now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. What was the coolest thing you saw here today?
The Renfo ring.
I agree. I would agree with you, yeah.
199 smart ring. Interesting.